Hello, how you going? Welcome to our Facepalm, where we'll get to check out all the low points of the world, or the people that can really get on your nerve, or you can just have a laugh at and because, it's a bit of a ridiculous thing to see. Karen's revenge. I asked a woman who was standing too close to me in line at Home Depot to give me 6 feet of space. She laughed and said, "Ha, I'll give you some space," and is now like 15 feet behind me, thinking she won, not realizing that is the absolute best case scenario. If you want to go over and above to help people out and make people feel comfortable, that's great. She only asked for 6, but if you want to nearly triple it, that's even better. Some people just have to go out of their way to make you feel positive in this world, don't they? And this is a beautiful example of what everyone should be doing. If someone asks for a little bit of personal space, just go, look, yeah, you asked for 6, let me triple it for you. If only the whole world worked like that. No taking photos of how unsafe the school was when we reopened, because that makes us look bad. School boards. We don't have the power to enforce mask policy on students, but also at the same time, no dreadlocks, no haircuts with designs, no distracting hair colours, no visible shoulders, no bra straps, no knees showing, no open-toed shoes, no political shirts, no etc. Now this is everyone knows the school system, and I'm sure every system can be a bit hypocritical at times, but yeah, sometimes schools or anyone to be of that matter does like to wash their hands of things that are deemed too difficult to do or not in interest. But yes, it is an interesting thought to have. Found on Twitter. Trump wants to delay the election, but the libtards won't let him. Show your support for Trump by boycotting the election and staying home November 3rd. Now, if you were wanting him to win and you had to go in to vote, I don't know how well that's going to work out for you. I'm running the maths and I can't see how, if you want him to get in, less people voting for him is going to get you more power and more votes. But look, you do you, and you show your support however you want. Yeah, keep it up. This is the world we live in. When I was 17, I worked at a bagel place. Each night we loaded the dumpsters from bagels from the day. A homeless man came in and asked for a bagel. Rather than throw them out, I gave him a few in a plastic bag. My boss reviewed the cameras and fired me for feeding the animals. What radicalized you? Yeah, I don't know if that's just a bit of a dick move, to be honest. Really? Why do you need to do that? If you just go, the amount of food waste in this world, it must be amazing. Not amazing. It must be crazy how much stuff like this happens all the time. Hopefully there was some sort of review for you. And because I don't feel like you could have been fired for that. If you're going to throw them out so they were deemed to have zero worth, I don't see how that's a problem. But yeah, obviously some people do have a problem with that, sadly. So I don't even think that's a facepalm. That's just a bit devastating, really. That's a special kind of idiot. College tennis player suspended after telling a black opponent, "At least I know my dad," during match. He said, "At least I know my dad," to a man named John Wilson IV. Racists are the dumbest people on the planet. You just don't get it, do you? I mean, with a name like that, there's some sort of lineage there. The chances are definitely stacked against you for him being able to know who his dad is and who his grandfather is and his great-grandfather is. So, look, it's a shame that you have to be the way you are. Hopefully you can learn from your mistakes and see what's going on here. Because that's just a perfect example of the wrong mindset, really. Russian bots were posting pro-Trump tweets until one of them accidentally posted its location in Russia and got caught. What? Laguna Beach, Antiva. Official ad for Laguna Beach. Langua, I don't know how to say it exactly. You might want to turn off your geotag there, comrade. It's been found out. I understand the need for this, I really do, but this sucks so much. When you're 5 years old and it's your first day of school ever, and they expect you to know how to read, type, and send emails. Aww. Look at her, she's just sitting there going, "Aww, I really don't know what's going on." I mean, to be fair, kids these days have grown up with every technology piece under the sun. She's probably already better versed in technology than more than 50% of the population. Excel spreadsheets, typing them up, FaceTiming, all those kind of things. She's all over it. But no, you wouldn't get to experience what school is. And for a lot of kids that are excited to go to school, that would be pretty sad that you don't get to. Suspended for showing the truth? A Georgia high school suspends 2 students for posting photos of crowded hallways. That must be so difficult. Because yeah, but on the one hand, it's much easier to keep kids at school, but how do you manage that kind of volume? Bell goes, everyone's out of there. No one's sticking around. Everyone's just gone. But to suspend them, that's a bit harsh, I reckon. Jeez, I mean, I don't know how you manage that, but maybe you just have to run a bell every 15 minutes. And the teachers have to time it, and so it alternates throughout the day. You have every year group leaves at a different time or something, so you don't have this mass peak hour traffic. That's not very good, is it? Yes, please stay away from us. We want you to be safe. The US government has warned its citizens to be very cautious about travelling to New Zealand because of our 23 active cases of the crown, eh? I mean, you do you. New Zealand doesn't have that many population, but something tells me you've got a couple more. I think you're a bit skewed in which way you should be thinking there, alright? One person still counts as a somebody. This morning, a young barista woman told me that a customer came in with a mask but not wearing it. When she asked the customer to put on an mask, she said, "Why? There's no one in here." The customer not seeing the barista as a someone very much tracks my anecdotal experience of non-mask wearers. I mean, what can you say? Yeah, it's a very, definitely a subgroup. I think this post says it all, really. There you go. The amount of time she takes to realise what's going on. Oh, the old finger in the nail. These are always good. Oh, a bit of tomato sauce. Hey. Oh, what's he going to do?
Ow!
Oh, jeez.
Oh!
Like how it's a completely different size staple.
Babe.
I wonder what it
Just come here,
one
quick,
in
quick,
his
quick.
finger actually
Okay.
is.
I just
Oh my
need you to
reaction.
trim. No, don't. No, use
let me
both
call
hands because
somebody.
it's very thick. Okay, no. Down a little bit further. Down there. Down there.
It's gonna hurt.
No, you're gonna right there.
I'm trying.
It's
No,
amazing what
right
people
there.
do in
Right there.
with shock,
Fine.
with
there.
adrenaline.
Okay.
Look at it. She still hasn't. There we go. Now she's noticed. Look, she's still. When you can't think because there's adrenaline and shock, and you just okay, I'll chop it, yeah, chop it, and you're so focused on one thing that you're just completely oblivious. Same with the fridge. You're looking for one thing in the fridge, you can't see it. You stare at it, you'll move it out of the way to look for it because it could the mayo or whatever you're looking for could be behind it. No, those videos are always great. Apparently there's something wrong with using a stock photo. They did us use Getty image photos of a shark and cropped it into their poster. The DC, I imagine the DC cinema user is a joke apparently. That's what stock photos are for. Did you think they actually photographed a dude chilling with sharks? Or what? They didn't get Jason Momoa to go and chill with, I'm not going to count them all, but 100 sharks in the background with a trident? No, come on now. Surely. I mean, yeah, you got to get photos from somewhere, and if they work, they work. Who cares? Just takes one person, though, to ruin the illusion. None of us would have known if it wasn't for this blue squiggle. That I certainly wouldn't have known that they could have done this, but I still don't really care. Anyway, that's alright. This teacher thinks it is the same to teach in 2020. My sister started 8th grade and it's all on Zoom, and today she got in trouble because she got up to get water during class and she's getting yelled at, and she looks at me and says, "How is this person going to tell me I can't get water in my own house?" Well, I mean, it's a bit of both, to be fair. Even though you're not at school, you're still kind of at school. I get the point. You know, you got to understand both sides, I guess. You know, the teacher might be struggling to do this, and then you just have, if you had people constantly leaving, you'd feel as though you never get anywhere. But at the same time, yeah, it's you just want to get a glass of water or something, and you can't, or you get yelled at for doing so. So it's a bit of both, I guess. How can people break up for such stupid reasons? I got dumped for having red hair. My boyfriend's mum didn't want to risk having ginger grandchildren, so she made him dump me. He married a blonde and had 2 ginger kids. Karma. My kids are blonde. That is some karma. That is some not instant karma, but long-term karma, most likely. You'd just feel so smug, wouldn't you? But man, for the mum to make the boyfriend or the son dump, that's crazy. Like, surely there was other stuff going on, because if he should have stuck up for himself and go, no, what's going on here? If that's the only reason, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous and should never happen. Apparently Canada's healthcare is bad. You want socialised medicine? Tell me again how good Canadian healthcare is. Tell me about the wait times for serious medical procedures. Did you guys learn anything from the complete failure of Obamacare? My husband needed brain surgery. World-class neurosurgeons removed a wedge of his skull, used lasers to remove scar tissue on his temporal lobe, and then put his skull back together. My biggest expenses were parking and snacks for stress eating. fair enough. I imagine the snack bill would be massive. But at least you can eat plenty of snacks. If you're stressing, I think you're burning a lot of calories. It's not good to stress. You don't have to worry about anything else then. It's pretty crazy what the medical industry can do. If someone had said to use lasers to remove scar tissue to someone, they would have thought you were a crazy person. But now it's like, yeah, that's just what happens. And yeah, the fact that it's covered and her biggest expenses were parking and snacks for stress eating, you got to be lucky and you got to count your stars for that. If masks were necessary for our survival as a species, we would have evolved one by now. We haven't. We have noses and mouths. We have airways. Do I? Actually, I didn't know. It is not natural for people to go around with a face mask on in their general life. No amount of government propaganda can change that, Neil. See that, Neil? Neil Black Squiggle? Do you wear shoes? Just a very simple question from Deal With It Skull. Do you wear shoes? That is the question we have to ask, because if yes, then you would have evolved a shoe by now. And you might argue that if you don't wear shoes ever, you'll have a nice thick sole. But that's beside the point. If you haven't evolved to have a shoe on, then I guess, it's the same thing. Fair point. The USPS is not a business. The US is viewed favorably by 91% of Americans, despite billions in losses annually. And then we have people like Zach. To let, I don't know them, but to let a info website about, I guess, money and whatnot, the economy, in on a little secret. It's a service. It doesn't lose money. It costs money. With a perfect comparison to... No one says the military loses $750 billion a year. Yeah, that is a fair point. That was a good point. And I'm surprised that you have to tell the economist that. Hopefully there's not a $40 subscription fee a month or something for their customers. Otherwise, I don't know. I wouldn't be trusting these people too much if they haven't done at least some research. Even if you didn't know that, maybe do some research before you tweet out about it publicly. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to do all the YouTube analytical things like liking and commenting. And if you'd like to stick around for some more, don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully have a good one and see ya.